Hey guys, my name is Jasmine. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hey, I make makeup videos, natural hair videos, story times, yeah. And this is gonna be my coming out story. So I'm sorry if this is everywhere, like this is literally on a whim, guys. Like I have like 15 minutes before work. Okay, so when I was like really little, I never had like the same urge to want to be around boys as like my friends did. Like boys always had goodies to me. Like I was chilling, I was good. Yeah, like it just never really sparks for me. I can remember being like as young as 5 years old and like fantasizing about like girls. Like I would never ever want to be with boys. And there was like rarely a grade that I would go through that I wouldn't have a crush on my teacher. Like I would always have a crush on my teacher, and I always had a female teacher. So it was like I didn't comprehend that though. Like in my head, I knew that I liked girls, but I didn't know that that meant that I liked girls. Like if that makes sense. Like I would be like, this is like a random name. Like I could have a crush on some girl named like Bella, and I could know I had feelings for her, and I could know that I liked her, and I could know that I wanted to be with her, but I couldn't comprehend that that meant that I liked girls. Like I thought that was just normal. Well, not that being gay isn't normal, but I just genuinely could not connect the two. So like growing up, that was always like weird for me. And then I remember trying to have boyfriends in like 8th grade, and it was never like a thing. Like I couldn't do it. Like I remember there's this one boy, Nate, and I'm not even gonna like really block out his name because he's still my friend and he's chill, but he was like the one boy that I dated that I actually like genuinely thought I had feelings for, whereas like every other boy I dated, like I could clearly tell like I did not have feelings for them. So it was like 8th grade though, but I had like a huge crush on him and like all this shit. But yeah, no. I remember in 8th grade, I actually got suspended for having a crush on my teacher, and like that's another story time. I'm not gonna get into it today, but that's how like big my crush was. Like that I was like, I took it like way too fucking far, but mostly because like I couldn't comprehend like that it was me being like gay and having feelings for a female. Like I could not comprehend that, and like me and my friends just like did hella extra shit, and I ended up getting in trouble, but that's irrelevant. So basically, yeah, in like 8th grade I had like a couple little boyfriends, but like I would always feel gross when like they would try to hold my hand or some shit. Like I'd be like, what the fuck? Like I would not fuck with that. And I was like battling it, and my best friend at the time had said like she was bisexual, and I was like, oh, you know, like I support that, like I'm cool with that, like you can be who you are. And like I just personally was not like, yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not bi, but like you can be bi, like that's cool, that's who you are. And it's so funny because she's actually straight and I'm gay, but like no, like she was like, yeah, like I'm bi, blah blah blah, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then I remember getting to the point in 8th grade where like I said I was bisexual, and like it was like a thing where like a couple girls in my grade were like bisexual, and like they were dating each other. Sorry, I'm fucking with my hair. They were like dating each other and stuff, and I was just like, oh, like that's cool. And I just like, I don't know, like something about it was kind of like, oh, okay, but like I couldn't see myself doing it, you know. And then I remember a couple of my friends reacted like, oh, like you can't be that way, like God's not okay with that, like you're gonna go to hell, like blah blah blah, because they were like Christian. Like not that all Christians are like that, but like I had a couple like super religious, super Christian friends that like they just preached to me that like I could not do that, and I was just like, well, whatever, like I like girls, so fuck off. And then I remember what happened. I got to the point where this is so ironic, you guys are gonna fucking laugh. So I used to have this walk-in closet in my house, and this is like almost summer break after 8th grade. I had this huge walk-in closet in my house, and this was like around May, and my best friend at the time, who said she was bi, was like sleeping over. And I just remember like we were on Omegle. Like if you know what Omegle is, thumbs this video up, oh my gosh. But like all these guys were like on there, like, oh, you guys should kiss, like you guys should do this, this and that. And here's the thing is like that's really gross, because like they're asking like little girls to do that shit. But to me, like in my head at the time, like I didn't really take note of that. I was just like, to be honest, because I knew I wanted to kiss her. I just didn't know like that meant I had like feelings for her, but I used that as an excuse. So I was like, hell yeah, like whatever. So we did, and then like something, it was so weird, like after like we kissed, like I remember I just like turned off my laptop camera and I just kind of like looked at her and I needed an excuse. I was like and I took the laptop and like threw it out the closet. Like we were sitting in the closet, you guys. This is how funny this shit is. We're in the closet. And I remember just shutting it and throwing the laptop out of the closet. And I was just like looking at her and she's like, what? And I was like, oh, I need names for these girls. So there's 2 girls who went to our school and I was like, oh, like, you know, Kay, I'm just gonna put their fucking initials because I can't think right now. I was like, Kay told me that her and her girlfriend A like did something and I like low-key want to try it like just to see. And she was like, what did they do? And I was like, well, Kay told me like she went down on A. And then she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, like I kind of just wanted to like try it. She was like, yeah, we can try that. And I was like, okay, like your girl is down. And you have to remember my ass was 13, so that's none of my business. But yeah, I was only 13. But so yeah, I did that. And then I was like, obviously your bitch was a natural at it. You know, just be eating that pussy. No, but seriously, like I ended up being like fucking natural at that shit. And I was like, well, whoops. Like, it ended up being a routine for us. Like we would just always do that. And it was always in my closet, which is why I thought it was so fucking hilarious. And then finally freshman year hit and we like would do that more, but then it eventually like she's like, I don't want to really do this anymore because she's straight, like she really is. And she's like, you know, like I have like this boyfriend now. And I was like, okay, whatever. So we stopped doing that and I tried to date this boy and we're gonna call him Bob for the fucking sake of the story. So I tried to date this boy Bob. Oh my god. And at the time I was still identifying as bisexual. So I tried to date this boy Bob and this nigga, like every single time he would try to kiss me, like I swear to god I would dodge it. Like I thought it was so fucking nasty. And he finally like kissed me one day and he had the nerve. He was like, no offense, but you're kind of a bad kisser. And I just kind of looked at him like, okay. Like I didn't say anything, but like if you really knew why he said that, it's literally just the fact that I wouldn't really kiss him back because I felt like it was gross. So like he would kiss me, but I was like, I'm good. And I remember like I ended up breaking up with him because he came over one day and we were like watching Mean Girls and on my life I was like, can you stop trying to kiss me? Like I'm trying to watch this movie right now. like that's how fucking gross it was. Like I was dead ass not trying to kiss this boy. And he was like, no, like what the fuck, come on, like come cuddle with me. And I was like so grossed out. It was so nasty. And then I finally just like laid with him and he just kept trying to make out with me and I was like pushed him up. I was like, bro, like this is my favorite movie. Like, I'm trying to watch this. Like, I mean, yeah, Mean Girls is the shit, but would he have been a girl? Like, that would not have mattered. But it was so nasty to me because he was a boy. So I was just like, nah. And then after, like, he went home, like, I broke up with him. I literally texted him and told him, like, I can't do this. Like, you're too touchy-feely. And this nigga tried to tell me he was in love with me after, like, 2 weeks. And I just remember, like, he texted me that. He's like, I love you. And I replied, and I was like, thanks. And then, like, I just responded to the other thing he said in the text message. He's like, thank you. You're not in love with me too. I was like, no. And then he was like, wow, what the fuck? And I remember too, he had asked me one time, he's like, oh, so like what would you do if I asked you for pics? And I was like, pics, like nudes? And he's like, yeah. And I remember I sent him a picture of a fucking cat and I was like, sorry, it's pretty hairy. And he was like, what the fuck? And I was like, I'm not gonna send you real nudes. Are you fucking retarded? Like, no, boy. Like, I remember, like, I was just so grossed out by the fact of having a fucking boyfriend. So I was like really close to admitting that I was just fucking lesbian. And then I finally dated that one boy, Nate, that I had like a huge crush on in 8th grade. And like we only dated for like, I think we dated for like a week or like 3 days or some shit. I don't remember. But yeah, so I finally dated him and then we ended up breaking up because like that was never gonna happen. So like it just I don't know. But after that, I was like pretty willing to admit like I was a lesbian. So I was just like, yeah. And then like pretty much I just kind of hated myself for like I told all my friends and stuff, and they were all like cool with it and accepting of it, and it was like whatever. But I hated myself personally. Like I did not want to be gay. I was not okay with being gay. Like I was okay with gay people and the concept of being gay, but I was not okay with myself personally being gay. I did not like that. So I remember just hating myself for like my whole freshman year. Like I really could not stand myself for being gay. Like I hated it. But everybody else was accepting. And telling my mom was not a problem. Like it was really easy. Like she was accepting. Like I never had that problem. Telling my dad, he was like, "Oh, so like you're bi?" I was like, "No, I'm gay." And he's like, "Oh, so you're experimenting?" I was like, "No, I'm gay." And he's like, "You just haven't had the right guy." Nigga, I haven't had any guy because I don't want a guy. Like, literally, I am a gold star lesbian. I have never had sex with a boy, and I never will. It is disgusting to me. So, like, he was just like, "Oh, well, you just haven't had the right guy." Like, literally, it makes me so fucking mad whenever guys are like, "How do you know you're gay if you've never had sex with a guy?" Bitch, how do you know you're straight if you've never had sex with a guy? What do you mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, have you had sex with a guy to know that you don't like dick? No, like, no, you don't have to, because you know you don't like dick. Just like me, I don't fucking like dick. Like, are you confused? Anyway, so yeah, that happened, and I was like irritated at my dad, but it didn't really matter because he's not like really in my life, and he wasn't really in my life, so I was like, whatever, his opinion is not relevant. But yeah, so that was pretty much my coming out story. I will do a separate story time for the time I got suspended for having a crush on my teacher, because oh my god, that's a story. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me, like, guys. But yeah, so that is my coming out story pretty much. And yeah, I mean, if I could just throw like one last thing in there, like my genuine view on sexuality in general is that like everybody in the world is pretty much pansexual. Like I genuinely believe that, because you don't fall in love with somebody's gender, you fall in love with somebody. So like I feel like everybody in the world is pansexual, therefore they're capable of falling in love with anybody, whether they be female, male, transgender, gender fluid, like anything. I feel like you can fall in love with anybody, but you have certain like built-in preferences that will make you believe that you are either straight, gay, bi, like anything like that. Like personally, the reason like my my label is like lesbian is because my preferences, like sexually, I only like females. I don't like any male parts. I very much like female parts. I like what my physical preferences when I'm looking at a girl, I like girls that are very girly and feminine and look like a girl, and like just like, oh, they have their nails done, their makeup's done, like their hair, like girly girls. I like girly girls, and sexually I like female parts, and emotionally I only like really connect with a female. So like my preferences would all make my brain pretty much like lead me to believe that I am strictly a lesbian, because I don't have any type of want or need for a male, and it's just like it's probably never gonna click. But the thing is, like, you don't fall in love with gender, you fall in love with a person. So if I were to ever fall in love with a man, should that ever happen, I wouldn't knock it. I would definitely like be with somebody if like they made me like happier than anyone else ever could. However, I do not genuinely think that will ever happen this lifetime, so I just say I am a lesbian. Like if it is to come my way, then sure, but there is no, like, you can't really like change somebody's preferences. Like your preferences are kind of set. So I feel like I said, like everybody is technically pansexual, but everybody's preferences are set a certain way, so they're going to go for what they want and what they like. So yeah, that being said, go ahead, comment, like, subscribe, and then follow me on my social media. I will link everything in the down bar. I need to go to work now. I really love you guys. Thank you for all the support. Give me video ideas. Like, what should I do? Give me tags. Give me things you want to see, like tutorials, like anything. Like, hit me up, guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.